After the complexity of songs on Sgt. Pepper, Magical Mystery Tour and beyond, Paul the Troubadour decides to return to the Beatles' mid-60s signature sound with I Will, which sounds quite similar to what they were doing in Help, for example. Though this track has a very simple, laid-back sound, it took a whopping 67 takes to get it done, in true McCartney fashion, though many of the takes were false starts. I had the melody for quite a long time, but I didn't have lyrics to it, Paul said. I remember sitting around with Donovan after our day of meditation, and I played him I Will, and he liked it, and we were trying to write some words. We kicked around a few lyrics, something about the moon, but they weren't very satisfactory, and I thought the melody was better than the words, so I didn't use them. I kept searching for better words, and I wrote my own set in the end. Very simple words. I think they're quite effective. It's still one of my favorite melodies that I've written. Since Paul said he had the melody for a long time, and there were no straightforward love ballads on Pepper or Magical Mystery Tour, one could suppose he had the tune since 1966 or before. As for the credits, it's safe to say Paul wrote it all. On January 13th, 1969, when he was being interviewed during the Get Back sessions, we can see him saying, "It's like we were trying to get the last verse to I Will, and eventually I just ended up doing it, cause we couldn't actually do it," referring to his and John's lack of collaboration in recent times. We can infer from this phrase that Paul asked John for help in writing the words for the last section of I Will, but John didn't cooperate, so Paul wrote the lyrics by himself. As for who it is for, Paul reveals, "Just because I was involved with Jane Asher at the time doesn't mean this song is about Jane. When I'm writing, it's as if I'm setting words and music to the film I'm watching in my head. It's a declaration of love, yes, but not always to someone specific. So this is me in my troubadour mode." At the time, Paul was influenced by Brazilian bossa nova and the likes of Tom Jobim or João Gilberto, trying to mimic that Latin America mambo and rumba feeling. This recording session was frequently interrupted by ad-libs, including Step Inside Love, Los Paranoias, and Can You Take Me Back, the latter which ended up on the end of Cry Baby Cry. Paul played acoustic guitar and added a sung bass part on it and softened his already sweet lead vocal with automatic double tracking, an analog recording technique designed to enhance the sound of voices or instruments during the mixing process. George didn't take part in the recording, and John and Ringo added percussion, maracas, bongos, and cymbals. The one and only Beatles performance of I Will was recorded in George's Friar Park home on June 23, 1994, with Paul and George playing ukuleles and Ringo present. They performed this quick run-through while reminiscing on songs they had composed while in Rishikesh, India, but Paul played the song solo many times. I Will, despite its short length and bare production, was a catchy sing-along that brought back the Beatles' earlier sound, and it gave us good cover versions, such as Peter Serafinowicz' one. The song endures and blends in well with the Beatles and Paul's extensive catalog of timeless love ballads. I Will proves that no one can write a love song as effortlessly as Paul McCartney.